Hey, I'm Jesse Joshua Watson. I'm an illustrator and fine artist from Port Townsend. Recently finished the Explorations week at Centrum. Had a great time with the kids and with the faculty and with the other adults that came as chaperones. It was a lot of fun. My art has been evolving over the past 10, 15 years, I'd say. I quit my job as a picture framer, maybe 9 years ago, and I've been doing just artwork to support myself and my family since then. Like I say, I do fine art, which amounts to basically painting whatever I feel like painting and then trying to sell it. Galleries, cafes, restaurants, that type of deal. And I've sold a number of paintings. I sell stuff online, my website, jessewatson.com. I have lots and lots of art there, and I'll sell artwork through my website. And then I also do children's book illustration, which has been a really fun direction to go in. Done quite a few books, I think 27 books now. My newest book is Bob Marley, I and I, and it's coming out in May, and it'll be available on my website and on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and in bookstores, hopefully local bookstores, imprint, and that's really my main deal. I do quite a bit of teaching art to kids of all ages. I teach art at Mountain View a couple times a year. We do little blocks. Later on in the spring, Margie McDonald and I are going to do a collaborative teaching workshop there with the kids at Mountain View. I also teach at Jefferson Community School. I'm an art teacher for that school as well, private junior high and high school, with some amazing young artists. And in addition to those teaching jobs, I do little workshops, and I'll do school visits to talk about my books or to talk about art. We'll do little workshops here and there. I'm going to New York next month to do some school visits and library visits and book signings and that kind of thing. So it's a pretty fun existence, painting, doing the thing I would be doing anyways, for money, and not lots of money, but enough to get by if I piece them all together. And it's really satisfying watching the students that I teach, especially ones, since we're a small town, I get to see quite a few of the same students over and over through the years, and that's very rewarding, seeing them flourish into little artists. Well, I was born in Ohio, in a little Quaker town, Barnesville, and born in an old farmhouse that was used on the Underground Railroad. So my dad was a farmer back then, and we moved from Ohio to L.A. That's where my dad and my mom both had grown up, and so maybe I was 1 or so, I think, and we moved to Pasadena and lived there for a number of years. Ended up in Kansas City for a while, and went to elementary school in Kansas City for a couple of years, and then made our way back to California again, to Northern California, Murphy's, California, in Calaveras County. And that's where I went to high school, and it was a great, beautiful area. The high school and the sort of social environment, I think, helped make me who I am, really. It was a real kind of cowboy town, which is cool if you're a cowboy. If you have little dreadlocks, though, it's definitely not very socially friendly. But that was good. It was a good thing. There's a lot of racism in that county. Incredible amount of racism, being California, and that was good too, because I got to see it firsthand and really soak that in and observe it, and it pushed me the other way, of course. And after a while, I took off from there and made my way through lots of different junior colleges. I think I went to 10 different, maybe 9 or 10 different schools, I think, over the course of my education. And I just show up and take all the art classes, and then bail, go to another school and take all the art classes. So after maybe a decade of doing this, I had thousands of art credits and no math, no science, no history. So I had to finish up. So I ended up finishing up my education down at Point Loma Nazarene University in San Diego, a spot I chose based on the gorgeous location to surf spot, and it ended up being a great school because I met my wife there. So very happy that I ended up down that way. And I love San Diego. I love Southern California. It was gorgeous, but I definitely, having been to Port Townsend to help my folks move, I definitely wanted to come back up here. I think I moved up here maybe 16 years ago when I helped them move, and hung out here for a while. Then I would leave to go to a different college or go live somewhere, live in Oregon or live in Northern California for a little while, and then come back and stay with my folks. And definitely, over the years, found this to be my favorite spot, a place I always come back to, and a place I see as being our home for quite a while. We love the people and the mountains and the oceans, and the vibes here are really nice. When I was in high school, I hung out with my friends, and we were like the skaters, and punks, whatever. I used to go down to the Gilman Street Warehouse back in the day. That was a little punk club in Berkeley, one of the great punk spots of all time. Saw a number of wonderful concerts there. Operation Ivy. I went to their very last show there when I was like 15 or something. My dad drove me all the way down there. Waited in the car while I slammed around in the pit, and they drove me home. Sweet dad. And I was definitely into. I got into reggae music in high school. I got turned on to it by my uncles. They liked Bob a lot, and they liked UB40 and Peter Tosh and a lot of these guys. And so I got turned on to reggae music through them. And that didn't really take over until a little bit later in high school, maybe when I was sophomore or junior or something. But I was really into punk rock and skateboarding, and I played soccer. I hurt my knees quite a few times playing soccer and skateboarding, so I had to stop playing soccer. I never ended up getting on the high school team because I just had too many knee injuries. Music-wise, I was really into drumming back then. I tried to teach myself a little bass and a little guitar, but it didn't really take. But drumming definitely took, and I've been like a hand drummer, percussionist ever since. Been in lots of different bands, played congas and different percussion with a number of different groups, and that's something that's important to me, and still will be. One of the nice things about the Centrum week is that we didn't have too much free time, but I got a couple little chances to jam with Etienne and with Jabreeze and with those guys, and look forward to more of that with the next group. It'll be fun to jam with Gary and the taiko drums. Those are pretty beautiful. In high school, like I said, it was a pretty small town, and so there was a lot of like redneck type of mentality there, and I felt like absolutely I did not fit into the town or the community, but I really do take that as a positive thing now. I see that it's like adversity always brings out either the best or the worst. I think it brought out the best. It helped me to hone my rebellious nature. My parents probably didn't agree at the time, but I see how being not willing to just go along with the crowd is something that is a good thing. Obviously, just blatant rebellion for the sake of rebellion is not productive at all, but when you see things that are unjust or see things that are you don't like going on, then I think it's great to be able to stand up against those things, or to just say, no, I'm not mean, I'm not having any part of it. And that definitely went on at my high school. All of us, as we grow and mature, we look back and see things that we like about our youth, things that we don't like, areas that we've grown in positively, and some areas where we end up cycling all the way back to a very similar attitude that we had maybe back then. And I found that with myself as an artist. I go in these cycles, and I come back to like being 17 years old quite a few times, and I see myself and I go, I've got a lot in common with that 17-year-old kid. Maybe more now than when I was in my 20s. It's pretty funny how life works like that.